Last week I thanked you for 100 subscribers. This week I'm thanking you for almost 200. The support on this channel has been absolutely incredible and I can't wait for you to see what comes next. We're making new videos every week, so I really do appreciate you stopping by and I'm glad you're enjoying the content we're making. Also, all the support on the zines and my Instagram and my website has been incredible as well, so thank you so much. That is the best way to support my work. I'm glad you like the images that I produce as well. And on top of that, ever since last week when we was out in London, I've had the weirdest flu, so I do apologise if I sound a bit croaky in this video or out of breath or just tired. In this video we're going to be talking about something that's quite an important topic of conversation when it comes to street photography, and that is confrontation. A lot of people are either scared to do street photography as a whole because they don't like the idea of being confronted and they think that's automatically going to happen to them as soon as they're out shooting street photography, and others, when it does happen to them, don't know how to deal with the confrontation. So in this video I'm going to be talking about why confrontation happens, how to avoid it entirely, and what to do if it does happen in your time taking photos out on the street. Now, in all my time taking photos, I think I've been confronted 3 times, and all of those times after a brief conversation it's ended quite pleasantly. So it's not big of a deal as many people think. You're not going to go out for the first time and get beaten up or your camera broken because someone a million miles away thought you was taking a photo of them, or a bloke has just come out of the pub after one too many pints and thought you were taking a photo of his missus and was like, don't take a photo of Susan, delete it. It doesn't work like that. No one really cares, and that is something that I've learnt quite easily, especially in London and the bigger cities. No one cares what you do. It's such a hustle and bustle city that people are just too focused in their own little world. No one cares what you're doing. No one will even notice that you've got a camera in front of them 9 times out of 10. And, you know, that's great if you want to get candid moments and snaps and all sorts of stuff like that, but that's not the case for everyone. Not everyone's in their own little world. So how can you avoid being detected? Can you be a ghost in this street photography world? And the answer is yes, in a weird way. There are 2 main street photography methods. You've got hunting and you've got fishing. Hunting is where you're going around after people, chasing shots and taking photos as you go, and fishing is basically where you find a scene, you compose for that scene and you wait for your subject. If you're doing that method, you're never going to really have anyone come up to you and say, you've just took my photo, because you're not in their face. You're not going out of your way, stopping in front of them, taking a photo, then moving off. That's when you're going to get people going, what are you doing? And it's purely for the fact that you're crossing a boundary there. Everyone has boundaries of personal space. Strangers are in the widest boundary, and then friends, and then family, and it gets smaller. So, you know, if you're with your family members, I'm sure you can get a photo of them without asking, right up in their face. They'll smile and go, hey. Friends, same sort of thing. Strangers, you don't get that luxury, unfortunately. So it's really worth just composing a scene, waiting for your subject, and then taking the photo as you go. It doesn't matter if they're walking through your scene or directly at you, you're there first. You're waiting for them. Let's say fishing is not for you and you're much more of a hunter. You're much more going around as you go, taking photos as you move. That's fine as well. There are ways that you can go about not being noticed while still doing this, getting up in people's faces and still being invisible. And the best way that I can describe doing this is take a video, not a photo. Now, you're not actually taking a video. It may sound really weird. You're taking a video, but you're not actually taking a video. You're still taking that photo, but you're pretending that you're actually making a video instead. So say you've seen a lovely subject and the background's lovely and you can position him perfectly in your head on where you want them to be, and you just need to get the composition right, and they're walking towards you or they're standing still, and you need to get them in the right place, but you want them right front and center. You want them really close to you, and to do that without them seeing you, you know, you think it's impossible. Well, if you just take a video, it's not impossible at all. Set up your camera from far away, look at them, you know the direction you need to walk to get them into your shot perfectly. You set up from far away, you either bring your camera up to your eye or bring it to chest height or something like that. Get it ready as if you're going to take the photo, compose the shot perfectly from a distance, walk through up to the subject, but as you go up to the subject you take the photo, but don't immediately bring it down as if you've taken the photo, keep it up and walk past them. They might think what you're doing, but they certainly don't think they've just took a photo of me. You've walked past them, you're either taking a video of the whole area, or they think you're waiting for them to move out of your way to get a picture of something behind them. And it works all the time. If you want to be close up to someone and not noticed, then that is the best way to do it, in my opinion. It's just perfect, you know. It may look weird, you just walking up with your camera up to your eye but walking past them, but you'll get the shot exactly how you want it and they won't think you've taken a photo of them. It's the best way I can describe it, taking a video. It's a weird one, but trust me, it works. And of course, if you don't care about being candid and you just want a street portrait, don't be afraid to ask people. People are more than happy to just stand still for a minute or pose for an image, and that's it, you know, just ask permission. If they say no, what the worst they say is no. 9 times out of 10 no, people will be like, oh yeah, sure. And yeah, you can get some really nice portraits that way. Also, darker colour clothes, it works better. You know, you're like a shadow. You're literally like a ninja walking through the scene, because you're not, you know, standoutish. You're just in the middle of the crowd, if you will. And the busier the area, the less likely people are going to notice you. Even if you are right close in front of someone, they're not going to notice you as much as if you're wearing a bright pink puffer jacket. If you're wearing a black top, jeans, you know, you're not going to be noticed as much as the wacky outfits that you see some people take photos of. So let's talk about what to do when you do get confronted then, because the first thing that happens when someone comes up to you all aggressive is to get on the defensive, and that's not the best thing to do at all. In fact, it just escalates and heightens all the tension. You don't want to do that. In fact, the times that I have been confronted, the first thing I do is say, oh sorry, I'm just taking a picture of the surroundings, you just happen to be in the image. And it just brings the tension right down, you know, you're not in their face going, oh well, what do you know? You're not getting aggressive back. And that's the worst thing you can do. Get aggressive back, just don't do it. Just, you know, admit that everyone's got personal privacy, and if you're right up in someone's face taking a photo, then you can expect someone to be like, what are you doing? You just gotta be calm and be like, look, you dressed really well. I thought I was going to take a photo of you to go with whatever I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I just like capturing the everyday. If I was to ask you for a picture, it would have ruined the candidness of the image. You know, just be really polite, be really professional. If they want the picture deleted, if you really like the image, just pretend to delete it. They won't know. If you thought it was a bit of a crap one anyway, you delete it, you know. But if you're calm, tension just drops pretty much straight away. They get less aggressive. They more talk about what you're doing rather than why you've done it. And yeah, it's just a whole lot easier to deal with if one person's aggressive and you're not, rather than if 2 people are going at it. It's much easier that way. And I can tell you, the 3 times that I've been confronted, within a couple of minutes of explaining, look, I'm just taking a photo of my surroundings, you looked really cool, I was taking a photo for this reason, it's just a candid everyday moment that I really like, this is my hobby, everyone's like fine with it in the end. And you know, you're not doing any harm. It's not like you're a government spy and you're taking photos of their wife and kids. Taking a photo of a kid is something that I don't do anyway. It's just a whole can of worms. That's one of my philosophy moments that I just don't do. Some people do. It's up to them. It's just one of my no-nos with street photography as a whole. I don't take photos of children. Just simple as. It's a lot harder to deal with a situation if you've gone up to a child and done that when their dad is standing a few feet behind them. Why did you take a photo of my kid is a lot worse than why did you take a photo of me, if you know what I mean. So yeah, just be calm, be professional and be honest. You know, I've taken a photo for this reason, you looked really good, you fit the scene, it's just a candid everyday moment that I like capturing. I hope you don't mind, you know. And 9 times out of 10 they don't mind, and they were just, you know, you shouldn't take a photo of me without asking permission sort of thing. Oh, sorry, next time I'll ask permission. You know, one of the times I took someone's photo in Greece, actually. I took their photo and they were a bit aggressive. Then I asked for a portrait. I was like, look, sorry, can I just take your photo? You're dressed really nicely. Asked for a portrait. Looked great, you know. came out well too. Lit a cigar and everything. But you shouldn't be afraid to ask permission for people's photos. You shouldn't be afraid to take photos in general. Confrontation doesn't happen that often. You can get around it by being discreet, and if you are discreet, you can go about your day. Nobody's gonna mind. Thank you so much for watching. If this video did help, a like is always appreciated. Hope it did give you some sort of courage to go out and take some photos on your own without worrying about people coming up to you all aggressively, because it doesn't happen often at all, I can promise you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.